Star Trek Online has officially announced the next stage of the event campaign, and with this one, apparently you can win a new ship as well. So the next stage of the event campaign is going to be Voth Invictus, which actually isn't a new event campaign event. They did make some new art for it, which looks fantastic, by the way. But this is actually the same event that they've done previously, which will allow you to take part in storming the Spire, into the Breach, or the Voth Battle Zone in order to earn progress toward the event campaign. I checked. I thought for when I first saw this, I thought the Voth Battle Zone was a new addition to Voth Invictus, but no, they ran this exact same thing back in Event Campaign 5, which was 2 years ago. So yeah, this is not new. The only thing new here is the artwork and whatever prize is going to be included with this one, which apparently is going to be a new ship, the Voth Stronghold Miracle Worker Dreadnought Cruiser. We'll get to the stats on that in a minute, but first let's go over the details of the event. Like I said, this is going to be part of the event campaign, so if you want to earn progress toward your free premium ship, this is the way to do it. While this is up, like I said, take part in Storming the Spire, the Breach, or the Voth Battle Zone while this is active, and you're going to progress toward that. In addition to the new Voth Dreadnought Cruiser, you'll also receive the usual event campaign event rewards, so 3 featured TFO reward boxes, which can either be 1 specialization point or one enhanced tech upgrade in each of those 3 boxes, so you can get an assortment of either of those. And you also get 25,000 dilithium ore upon completion, and then you can continue to earn bonus dilithium if you keep participating in the event even after you finish it, which you should, because you will also earn additional event campaign progress during that bonus deal phase as well. So even after you've completed the event, keep doing the event so you can keep earning progress for your event campaign prize. That's really the most important thing there. This event will be going live on PC tomorrow on September 2nd and will be running for 3 weeks. Console players, you guys will be getting this at the end of the month on September 30th and will also run for 3 weeks. Now let's get a look at the ship, the Voth Stronghold Miracle Worker Dreadnought Cruiser. So this is going to be a T6 version of the old Voth Bulwark Dreadnought Cruiser. So this is something Star Trek Online hasn't done in a while. It's basically going back and making a Tier 6 version of one of their old Tier 5 ships. This is something they've done in the past, but it's been a while since they've done this. Probably because, it's an alien ship. There's not a lot of huge interest in anything that's not Federation ships. So I guess they decided, instead of trying to sell this as a lockbox or a low buy ship, I think the original one was low buy originally, but yeah, now they're just throwing this out as a free event reward, which I do appreciate. That's actually really nice. Let's just dive right into the stats. It's got a hull modifier of 1.6 and a shield modifier of 1.2, so very tanky hull and shield stats right there. So this is going to be this thing's going to be able to take a hit really nicely. 5-3 weapons layout, always nice to see. 4 device slots in the bridge officer seating: Commander Engineering / Miracle Worker, Lieutenant Commander Tactical / Intel, Lieutenant Commander Science, Lieutenant Universal, and Ensign Tactical, which I'm not thrilled about the placement of that Intel seat. Normally, I would be really thrilled about a Miracle Worker Intel combo. That's a ship that's really good for energy weapon builds, but putting that Intel seat on the tactical seat means you're going to be infringing on some of your tactical abilities, and this thing's kind of weak in tactical in other places, because the only other seats it's got is the Ensign Tactical seat, which really isn't going to make up for those higher level firing modes like beam fire at will or beam overload 3 or scatter volley or rapid fire 2. So basically you're gonna have to choose between either of those firing modes or override subsystem safeties 3, which is kind of unfortunate, but what can you do? But yeah, I would really like that a lot better on the science seat here. But at the same time, with it being on the Intel seat, you're going to have that much more room for unconventional systems triggers, I guess, but you're still infringing on a lot of your tactical abilities, so that's kind of a shame. It's not a bad setup, it's just there's plenty of better setups out there for energy weapon builds. So, free ship, I guess you can't be too picky about that kind of thing, but at the same time, we've got a lot of really good free ships in the past couple of years, so this feels like kind of a step down from what we've been getting in the past couple of years out of event ships. In the consoles, 3 tactical, 5 engineering, 3 science, and 1 universal, because this is a Miracle Worker ship. Base turn rate of 7, impulse modifier of 0.15, and an inertia rating of 35. This is going to be a bulky feeling ship. This is going to be slow and is going to turn like a house on ice skates. In the power bonuses, it's got extra power because, again, this is a Miracle Worker ship, so it's got +10 to weapon power, +10 to shield, +5 to engine, and +5 to auxiliary, so a nice spread across the board. I would have liked to see a bit more in auxiliary or even engine power, given how slow this thing is instead of shield power. But again, you can't have everything. The console we'll get to in a bit. It's got a hangar bay because this is a Dreadnought, and it comes equipped with the Voth Heavy Fighters, which we'll get a look at in a second. It's got the innovation mechanic and the cyclical quantum slipstream drive because it is a miracle worker ship. It's got two of the cruiser command auras. It's got attract fire and weapon system efficiency, which is typical of a Dreadnought, and it's got the Dreadnought mastery package, which gives buffs to, this just says regen, I'm pretty sure it's just hull regen, damage resistance for energy and radiation damage, a buff to crit chance, and a buff to maximum hull HP. They did provide the tooltip for the Voth Heavy Fighters that this thing comes with, but it's literally just the ones that it comes with. They didn't include any of the stats for the higher level versions of these fighters. I don't think these are new. I'm pretty sure these were included with the original T5 version of this of the ship. So these fighters aren't going to be anything special. Like all they've got is anti-proton beam array forward and aft, an aft transphasic chronoton torpedo. That's weird that it has an aft torpedo but no forward torpedo. That's bizarre. Okay, whatever. And it's got focused assault and emergency power to weapons 1. I imagine those will go up to 2 and 3 respectively with the upgraded versions of these fighters. But yeah, these are okay. They'll be better if you got like superior area denial on them, but yeah, there are far better pets in the game than these. That said, if you're really wanting to go with the Voth theme, like I said, superior area denial will at least make these decent. Okay, I found the Voth Heavy Fighters on the Stow Wiki. And forget what I said about these things being good with superior area denial. Well, I mean, they would still work with superior area denial, but you might not want to use it because the advanced and elite versions actually have beam overload on them. I don't know why the standard version doesn't have beam overload 1. That's bizarre because the advanced and elite versions have beam overload 2 and beam overload 3 respectively. So it's weird that they left that off on the basic version, but whatever. But yeah, that means you don't necessarily need superior area denial with these things because they've already got a native firing mode on them, which is beam overload on the advanced and elite version. So just upgrade to either of those and you can get some decent pets because beam overload on pets, it can be kind of decent. I'm still not going to say these pets are amazing because they're not. They just have some Voth anti-proton beam arrays and a transphasic chronoton torpedo, which are not good torpedoes. But yeah, they're okay pets if you want to go for a theme build, but there's way better stuff you can use, like the Type 7 shuttles. And finishing up with the Admiralty stats, it's got engineering 62, science 30, tactical 34, and minus 25% maintenance per science ship. The console on this thing is enhanced ward repair ship, which is basically just an enhanced version of the original console that came on the original tier 5 version of the Bulwark, which usually just means they copy pasted the abilities off of the console and then added a passive to it, which is generally how these things have been done before. When the chips are down, the Voth Stronghold's captain doesn't need to worry. This console can be used to deploy an enhanced ward repair ship, which can perform emergency repairs and rapidly repair your hull and shields when your ship is destroyed, meaning it's reached 0% health. It can also provide a massive increase to all of your subsystems and increase the maximum capacity of them if your ship is defeated. So it's basically a console version of that ability that most NPC Voth ships have. When they technically die, they can stick around and a small repair ship will come along and repair them. With the NPCs, you want to destroy the repair ship before they can complete those repairs. I don't know if the repair ship is destructible here on the console version. I would assume it is, but I don't really know without being able to test it. I never owned the original version of this console, the on the old tier 5 Bulwark, so I cannot say for certain. But they also included the tooltip on this thing, which includes the passives, which give plus 15% to maximum hull capacity and improve shield regeneration by 20%, which honestly aren't bad passives if you're wanting to build a tank build. And the clickability itself is called Enhanced Repair Ship. It is a self-revive, which will bring you back up to full HP and full shields, and will also give you a large power boost. So here, specifics, plus 100% to hit points, 100% shield regeneration on each facing, plus 125 all power levels for 10 seconds, plus 50 to max power levels for all subsystems, and 85% shield resistance. That's not bad. The only downside is that it requires you to die first, technically. So you're probably not going to get a huge amount of access to those power buffs. But if you are struggling with survivability, this is definitely going to be a console that you might want to play around with. So it's interesting. It's definitely not going to break the meta or anything. It's just it's something that it's definitely something that feels like it's geared toward either newer or more casual players that are still kind of struggling with the basics of the game. It's basically giving you a self revive that isn't going to require you to totally go through the whole revive process. So this is probably something that a good number of more casual players are going to be interested in. Now, this console is actually part of a larger set bonus, the Voth Cloak Technology set, of which the other pieces are included on the both Palisade Science Ship and the Voth Bastion Flight Deck Cruiser, which I believe are premium ships. I think the Science Ship is a low-buy ship, and I know the Bastion is a lockbox ship. So most of you probably are going to have access to this console set, but we're going to go over it anyway because it is here in the blog. With the two-piece set, you get plus 10 all damage resistance rating, and you get access to Voth Cloak. So it's a set bonus that gives you access to a unique cloak. Grants a large amount of stealth, grants a large amount of damage resistance, grants a large amount of defense, and when exiting stealth, grants a moderate damage bonus and can only be used while out of combat because it is technically a standard cloak. But if you have the full 3 set, that turns into a battle cloak. So you will be able to activate and deactivate it while in combat. Kind of an interesting set bonus, but having to add 2 extra consoles that may or may not be good for your build just for the sake of a battle cloak, really not a great trade-off, especially given that the other 2 ships are both off of premium ships. So I wouldn't concern myself too much for trying to get my hands on this. The Starship Trait is called
Asclepius.
Asclepius engine. While this trait is slotted, when you receive a hull heal of any HP value, you gain Asclepius protection. The next attacker that damages you within 10 seconds will receive damage equal to that hull heal. It has a 10-second cooldown. That's kind of interesting, allowing you to deal damage with your hull heals. My big question would be, like, how does it interact with heal over time effects? Would it only trigger off of that first tick of healing from any sort of heal over time effect, meaning that you would only deal like a small amount of damage with the Starship Trait, or would it take into account the full heal over time effect? I don't know. This would require some testing. I'm not betting on this thing being a huge meta breaker either, but at the same time, this could be helpful for those of you reliant on heal effects on your builds. But at the same time, again, I'm still concerned about how this is going to interact with heal over time effects. So I guess we will have to wait and see on that because it doesn't come out till tomorrow. Overall, there's some interesting stuff on this ship. I feel like there are going to be people who are going to be interested in both the Starship Trait and the console just because of their unique blend of survival aspects to them, because like we've got a full res ability here, and this one and the Starship Trait allows you to deal some damage along with your heals. So if you're wanting to not sacrifice damage output for heals, this could be an option for you. But like I said, I'm still worried about how this might interact with certain heal effects. So yeah, we will see. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention on the console, it only has a 1-minute recharge time, which is kind of nice. So it's not the usual 2-minute recharge time that you see on most consoles. So you're gonna be able to get a decent amount of use on that, and that'll lower even lower with proper cooldown management like unconventional systems or the Vovin's console, or of course the combination of both. But yeah, neat stuff here. The ship itself, I'm not super impressed with it, but like as a free ship, it's not terrible. As if you're someone who is a more casual player or fairly new to Star Trek Online, this is a solid ship to get your way into the game, to make your way into the higher level content. You can do pretty well with this ship. It's just there are plenty of better ships out there, but it's a free ship, so you really can't be too picky about there. My one gripe is, I mean, we've got some pretty good free ships over the past couple of years, so this one feels like it's I don't know. It kind of feels like Deca is ending the honeymoon period and kind of returning to some of Cryptic's old forms in some aspects, and that's kind of what this ship gives. So it's not bad for newer or more casual players, but higher end players like myself are probably going to look at this and be like, and just kind of add it to the collection, throw it on the shelf, and then never touch it again. It's really just the bridge officer seating. That intel seat on the tactical seat, I don't like that. I really wish they had put that on the science seat, or better yet, bumped the universal seat up to lieutenant commander, and then maybe bumped the science seat down to lieutenant. But yeah, the seating is what it is. Like I said, it's not going to be something that a lot of the more higher end players are probably going to be interested in. A lot of you probably have better ships than this already. But for newer and casual players, this will be a perfectly fine ship to dip your toes into higher level content in the game. But yeah, that is the Voth Stronghold. It's not a bad ship, but it's not really a great ship either. But at the same time, it is a free ship, so that's always nice. So yeah, that goes live tomorrow on PC, and we'll be going live on September 30th on console. So be sure to keep an eye out for both of those. And remember that this event also earns progress toward the event campaign, so be sure to participate in that if you haven't already gotten your free premium ship. So, yeah, let me know what you think of the ship down below in the comments, and while you're down there, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you'd like to further support the channel, become a channel member to gain additional channel perks. Check out the merch store down below, check out the affiliate links. If you're ever shopping on the Epic Games Store, be sure to use my content creator code STU1701. Any of these things really help me out, and I really do appreciate it. Either way, though, thank you so much for watching. My name's Stu, and I will see you guys next time.